Welcome back to another Chicago Sports Spectacular, another amazing card show with some great cards bought and sold. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go. We're gonna go ahead, still got about an hour, grab some food, and then let's get ahead to the show. Now, this show had a little bit of a different agenda. I had mentioned selling cards as well as buying, but I did not have a table. I did bring one massive card with me, the biggest card I've ever had, and that was this 1908 Postcards Ty Cobb, very, very rare variation. So this I was trying to move at the show, and before the show had even started, I got a pretty strong offer. All right, guys, so show has not even started yet, but I already have a massive offer on the biggest card that I've ever purchased. So I'm gonna show you guys here right now. This card I purchased a few weeks ago on MySlabs, and I knew some of these big dealers at some of these upcoming shows would be interested in it. So I took it here, took it to one of my favorite dealers first, and currently have a standing offer to be with. I'm gonna go and try to get a little bit more. I'm gonna take it to some of the other dealers. As of now, I've only shown it to one person, and holy smokes, I try to go around, get 16 would be my number, and that would just be insane. I'd be ecstatic if I could off the bat. Show hasn't even started. So let's go ahead, take it to a couple more tables. I'm not sure if I'll record that part, just because when you're transacting stuff like this, lots of people don't want it on camera, which makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead, see what I can do. It may be on camera, it may not, probably not, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated as we get kind of going towards the middle and end of the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you guys like the content. It really helps me out. So as we get on to the show here, I'm just going to acknowledge a couple comments recently that I've been getting. Lots of people saying they want to see more negotiations in some of the videos, which of course, when that happens, I will be getting some clips of that. So stay tuned for those in the future. But for this show, there really wasn't much negotiating. And honestly, most of the people I buy from, they don't even really negotiate. It's more of like a store as far as this is the card, this is the price, kind of take it or leave it. And that honestly makes it a lot easier for me in the long run. Negotiating can just expend a crazy amount of mental energy, especially for someone like me who's more of an introvert. I will be absolutely wrecked by the end of the day if I spend it negotiating. So I'm not really any type of negotiating master or guru or anything like that. Better negotiations would definitely be on some of the modern card channels. Though I don't think there's really any negotiating in this video, but there's still some incredible pickups, and you can find good deals like I've mentioned in videos past. You don't have to knock people's price way down to get good deals. Just takes a lot of practice and basically become a human VCP. And at shows like this where, I mean, you're gonna have to be a pretty massive dealer to be set up here. Lots of people go by that kind of take it or leave it price strategy. So you gotta be able to buy from both. Sometimes at more local shows, you can negotiate. People don't really expect to sell much. So if you kind of wave a lot of money in front of them, local shows, some people are just ready to cash out. Some of these bigger shows, I mean, these guys, they don't care if they sell stuff or not. They have credible inventories, and they're just there, you know, for advertising, for buying, and then sell stuff if someone is ready to buy. And after a certain amount of time of buying and selling stuff, I honestly like to call it GCP, Garrett's Card Prices, because lots of times when quickly scanning prices, I'll just go basically off of sales that I remember from selling some of these cards, either in different grades or different raw conditions. That makes it a lot easier to quickly scan stuff rather than having to look up every single card that I'm going to buy. So by now, I'm sure you guys have gotten a pretty good look at some of the cases. Let's not forget what objective number one was here today, and that was to move the Ty Cobb. So we kept going around asking people, you know, there's only so many dealers that are going to be interested in a card like that, even at these larger shows. So I did take it to a few options, got a few strong offers. All right, so far we are 0 for 3 right now, but we've gotten a maybe and a quote, it's possible. So I think we're close. There might be in the room here. I just got to keep looking. A couple options I think I will be able to probably get, but we're gonna have to see, keep taking around, probably try 3, 4, 5 more and get back to it. All right, so in an ideal world I would be able to move this and then ideally spend the money this weekend. I don't know if that's actually an option, but I'm kind of scouting out right now where might be a good place to take it. All right, so far, striking out a bit. Got a couple more places to hit. There was 2 people who were interested. I can at least take it up to them and we'll see kind of how that goes. But like I said, this is mission number 1 for the day. So after this, and we'll really get the day started. If I have to, I'll go back and, but we'll see if I can get a little bit more than that here. So after a few hours of hunting, I could not find a stronger offer. So who would have thought the original offer was the best? So I went back. That was because it had been a few hours. I was only here for Friday. So I was already 3 or 4 hours into the show. It was time to sell it and try to put some of that money back to use here for the rest of the day. So automatically right back to buying. Here, I didn't end up buying any of these autographs, but some really, really cool autograph cards. You see an entire box full of just on-card, bunch of different vintage autos. I mean, everywhere from the 40s and 50s up to the 70s. So just really, really cool display here. Stuff that you're only going to see at shows like this in Chicago and some of the bigger shows. So now I'm scrambling a bit, like I said, a few hours into the show, just trying to find stuff I can replace that Cobb with, because that's not going to be an easy one to replace. So, but I want to make sure I'm not replacing it with stuff that is not similar to it. So I at least wanted a few higher end cards, obviously not as expensive as the Cobb, but if I could basically trade that out for, 4 or 5 cards in the $2,000 to $4,000 range, or maybe 1,000, something like that. That's kind of what I was looking for. So I was at least looking for a few key cards, and then, some chip-ins that will always be good to have. We'll get to the pickups here in a bit. Well, we'll just finish going through some of this autograph box first. Some of the really cool cards in here. I'm sure you guys will enjoy some of these. I didn't get to put all the money from the Cobb to use, so I've still got some stored up for future shows and stuff like that, but definitely got a pretty good haul here. A nice mix of everything that I was looking for. So if you're still watching at this point in the video, I definitely appreciate it, but let's go ahead, get on into the pickups now and see what we got. Starting off, we got the 33 Gaudi Mel Ott. Got 2 cards in this set, but this one seems to be a bit more desirable. And this one's in pretty good shape too, so can't complain about that. Nice color on him. Now this second one, this is one of the most interesting ones. This is a very tough, this is a 1949 Bowman, but I believe they call it a slate back. And it's got the gray background rather than the typical orange that you'd see on a Phil Rizzuto. From what I believe, all of these are hand cut, so they're all like different sizes. If you send them into grade, the companies will only grade them authentic, but they're very, very rare. I don't even think PSA puts it as anything else on the pop report, so it's tough to figure out exactly how many there are, but they're tough. So that was a really cool one to get. Another one of those rare ones that I always try to keep an eye out for. And then here is 3 of the same 1958 tops. So that Hank Aaron and Mickey Mantle batting foes. Some are nicer than others, but 3 of them. This one's probably the nicest, at least corners wise, a bit off center. Still nice. 3 of those were all in the same purchase, so glad to be able to pick all 3 of those up. A few other nice 50s and 60s. And then we'll start getting into the pre-war, and then some of the best cards we're saving for last, of course. So we'll get to those in a bit. That we got, this one isn't quite duplicates, but we got 63 Fleer and 63 Topps Willie Mays. The Topps one's really nice. You can see the border's really clean there. Corner has a little bit touched, but the border's clean. And then the Fleer, that one is another one is a bit off center, but Mays cards, 50s and 60s, I'll buy them all day long. Just like these 2 guys here. So we got 64 Topps Roberto Clemente. And this one you see has a little bit of, like, I believe, I'm not sure if it's mark or just something, along the edge. Probably a mark, but other than that, a pretty solid looking 64 Clemente, and then a 66 Mantle. This one is trimmed, so it's a bit narrow, but it is what it is. It's a Mickey Mantle card, no creases or anything like that, so what's left of it is very sharp. Now let's move on to some of these. Got a Diamond Stars Carl Hubble I actually picked up 2 of these, so we'll see one later in the video too. But this one's pretty nice, got good centering. You've been watching the videos, you know I'll buy pre-war all day long. Figured he's a pretty recognizable name for pre-war. He's someone that sells eventually. A Ralph Kiner 48 leaf, and also had another 48 leaf along with this in the same purchase was the Phil Rizzuto. I've been kind of running out of time with shipping cards, so I've been concentrating on picking out key cards. Now these aren't, the Kiner isn't the most expensive, but kind of cards like the Rizzuto, like the Mel Ott, like some of the other cards you're gonna see today. Focus on those because I was sort of running out of time. Love the $50 cards and $75 cards, but I was running out of time to ship them. So we'll move on to some other goodies here. We got the 57 Mays and of course the Gibson. The Mays does have a crease in him, but it is what it is. Not bad overall. And then the Gibson rookie. Haven't had one of these in a while, probably a few months. And this card's just so popular. This was one of them that I've been like, man, I need to go grab another one of those. Luckily enough, there was some at the show. It does have a bit of a back wrinkle to it, but don't really care. Got a few slabs coming up now. These were all, I think, individual purchases, these next 3, but a Rod Carew rookie, 4MC. I mean, this thing is pretty sharp. I mean, all the way around. Kind of surprised it was only a 4MC. This one is a potential crack candidate since lots of people don't like qualifiers. They probably sell better raw than a qualifier, but I'll at least give it a try. Since it's a PSA slab, I would hate to have to crack him out, but probably just leave him in there. I'm sure he'll sell. And another big rookie for the day, the Ernie Banks 54. This one will probably, I mean, certainly be sent in for a reholder. I don't know what SGC was thinking with this, the green. I think that's pretty gross. So I'll send him in and get a better, newer tuxedo. Overall though, I mean, card is pretty nice. Left to right centering is good. Top to bottom isn't perfect, but his name isn't cut out or anything. So, you know, it is what it is. That's a pretty nice Banks rookie. One of the other slabs, 56 Ted Williams. Another one that's super sharp, you know, maybe undergraded. It does have some wrinkling in here, but I mean, this card's got nice color, sharp. It is miscut, but nice card. Overall, one of the best looking sets. For now, I'll probably just ask closer to 2 price. If it doesn't end up selling, I'll probably just crack it out and get 2 price for it. For now, Ted's gonna stay in the holder at least. And then we'll move on to this other stuff here, which was all in one deal. I bought a ton of stuff all in one deal, so we'll kind of go through it all here. But a 58 Topps Maze. It's crease free, really nice color. So still got a bit of the gloss on there. So really, really good color on him. Sharp, everything you're looking for besides centering. And then what that one lacks, this one has. And then this one lacks what the other one has. It's not quite as sharp, not quite as glossy, but it's got the centering on it. So nice to have some for different people. You know, some people prefer centering, some people prefer corners, and I don't discriminate against any of them. So whatever you're looking for, my goal is to try to have it. So now I got a couple 58 mazes for people to look at, and also a couple 57 mazes. So we had the other one earlier with the wrinkle. This one's a bit nicer. Same story. The other one was centered better. This is a little more off center, but it's got the sharper corners to it. Pretty good condition overall. I don't see any creases as of now, at least. Nice maze. And this one was probably the cheapest card there. The 53 Bowman Larry Doby. That was basically a value box find. We're getting into some pre-war here, so we'll see what we got coming up. Got a 41 play ball, and then we'll just keep kind of going backwards in years. Another crease-free, good color on this. Don't really find them this sharp this often, especially in raw condition. So if it weren't like miscut, I would probably send it in to be graded, but I'll probably keep it as is for now. We'll see, maybe a potential future PSA order. And then here, got a few from the same set here, all from the Diamond Star sets. So this is the Al Simmons, and this seems to be a pretty tough card from the set. It's the second card in the set. It seems to go for a little bit more than, you know, a typical Al Simmons would, you know, in comparison to some of the other guys in the set. Not too well versed on it, but it seems to be, you know, at least a little bit tougher. So nice Al Simmons Hall of Famer. And our second Carl Hubbell of the day. This one's pretty nice here too. It's got, you know, decent centering, good color still. Some of the best looking sets, you know. I think that 30s and 40s era is probably my favorite as far as designs, like the 41 play ball, the Diamond Stars, the Gaudis, all great looking sets. So if I had to pick an era, it would probably be around this one. They got a Sam Rice here to go with them. This one's got some wrinkles in them. Still a good card though. And Kiki Kyler, this one I think had some writing on the back, but is what it is. Figured if I could pick up a few Hall of Famers from the same set, I'd like to give people some options. And the final Diamond Stars was this Paul Waner. Now this one's a lot sharper, a little bit off center. Glad to get all those together. A 34 Gaudi, Bill Terry, and got a few 34 Gaudis, I believe. Yeah, also got a Paul Waner. So picked both of those up. Both seem to be crease free, at least at a first glance. Now we're moving on to some 30, oh no, still on the 34s. But I have a 34 and a 33 Charlie Gehringer. So I believe the 33 is considered a rookie. I'm not sure if it's his earliest card. It's got some paper loss on the back. 34 is really nice though. And at least the 33 presents well. It's another one that I haven't had in a while. It's probably been 6 months or maybe even 9 months since I've had a Gehringer. So whenever that happens, I always try to think of it as maybe I'm undervaluing that card in my head when I see it. I found one, check more recent prices and see what it's actually going for versus what I thought it would be going for. And was able to find one here at a decent price. Got a couple more Gaudis coming up also. Much like the 34 Waner, we have the 33 Waner. This one is, I believe, crease free, so that's pretty nice. Still got a bit of gloss on him, so good color. Can't ask for really much nicer than a 3 in Gaudis, so I'll take that. And Eddie Collins, one of the best looking Gaudi cards. That just not many with that blue background, looks nice. So that's always been one I've been a big fan of. I have the Worldwide Gum, the Canadian version, one in my PC, which I also need to send that to get graded. Moving on to a little bit of a weirder issue. Now this one is a 1928 Yuenglings Ice Cream, and it is a John McGraw. So a nice, big Hall of Fame name, at least when it comes to managers, one of the big guys. So it's just another one. It's not a set you see a whole lot of. This is the only one from this set that I bought. I figured I would throw it on eBay. Maybe it would sell, someone who's building the set, something like that. There's usually not a ton of them listed on eBay, or you really just don't see them anywhere, at card shows either. Now we're moving on to this Zach Wheat, and I forget currently what this set was even called. I think it's like designation or whatever you want to call it was like V61 or VG1, one of those two. Either way, Zach Wheat, Hall of Famer. It's okay, yeah, there it is. Nielsen's, I think, chocolate bars. Yeah, so Nielsen's chocolate, pretty big Hall of Fame name. Another one like the McGraw, just kind of a tester. Took me a good amount of the day to find a buyer for the Cobb that I was walking around. So those were kind of icebreakers. We'll see how they actually end up, but I was kind of panicking since I had all the money from the Cobb sale plus all the money I originally brought to the show. So I had to get some icebreakers in there with those, and then a few strip cards that we'll go through. These are all W515s. We got the Miller Huggins as well as Waite Hoyt and Harry Heilman. I think they're all Hall of Famers. Harry Heilman would be the only questionable. I know these two guys are. Harry Heilman hit 400 like multiple times, so I'm assuming he's in the Hall of Fame. But you guys know I love strip cards, and now we'll get on to the 3 biggest purchases, and they're all 3 ones that I have never had before. So to pick all 3 of them up in the same day was pretty sweet. So we'll start off with the low number. We'll start off with a 52 Mays, and this card and the 2 following are all gorgeous. And they all came from the same set. And I had picked up, if you guys watched a couple videos ago, a Roy Campanella from this set that was ungraded. But here is the Mays, and you guys can see this thing is gorgeous. It's crease free, not seen anything like that. And the color added is here where the pinhole is, much like the Campy in the previous videos had. There's a pinhole, and it looks like there was some color added, so maybe they took a marker to try to cover up the pinhole after the fact. But I mean, you set it back here, this card looks amazing. So we'll set him up back here for now, and then we'll get on to some of his counterparts. And there's 2 stunners coming up, so same issues as the Mays, but holy smokes, this the most expensive Topps rookie card of all time. And this card is so cool. I mean, I've been waiting 2 years to find one of these, at the right price, right time, all of that. And wow, this, I couldn't have asked for a better looking one for my first 52 Topps Eddie Mathews. No creases in this one that I've seen. Great looking card. No complaints here. And that one's just a whole lot of fun. I mean, I had consigned a Mays before, so I at least sold one, but I never really owned one. And that Mathews is sweet. Another one from the same set, the 52 Jackie Robinson. Same stuff going on with the pinhole, but who cares? This one has like very minor wrinkles. I mean, who cares? High number, 52 Topps, Jackie Robinson. Never had one before. Centering isn't the worst thing ever. Color isn't the worst ever. I mean, it probably presents like what, 2.5 or 3.5, somewhere in that range. Presents very well for what it is. And wow. This was a whole lot of fun. You guys know I like rare stuff. In the 50s, it can be a little bit tougher to find rarer stuff, but I mean, 52 high numbers. They're not impossible to find, but the demand for them is so high that they are tough to come across for sure. So to have all three of them at the same time where I can kind of line them up, it's incredible. So if you guys are still watching, don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you watching this far into the video. Make sure to subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you guys next time.